Bro, you think your dad beat the shit out of you? Your dad doesn't have shit on me.
In my latest video, we covered the sprawl and brawl style and how it's so effective in MMA. Well, today we are discussing a new style. A style that's rarely seen. A style that, frankly, shouldn't work. And a style so hideous, it makes you think that you too could become an MMA fighter. So today we will be discussing the Looney Tune cartoon style, what makes it work, why it's so effective, and who does it best. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, spank my anus and the like button, and let's get started. Go. The cartoon style is a way of fighting that reminds me of the drunken fist. But I'm not talking normal drunken fist. I'm talking binge drinking with your homies drunken fist. It's a style where the worse you look, the more dominant you are. And that perfectly sums up this Looney Tune style. You see, the style itself is a bit of a meme that's been created by the UFC fandom. You know, in cartoons we see tunnels painted onto rocks, or we see Bugs Bunny clowning on Elmer Fudd, and just like those two references, this is a style that feels like a joke. It feels like it shouldn't work, but it does. And it's very effective. You see, for years we've watched these beautiful and technical fighters. They have such a clean and almost artistic way of moving and fighting. But the Looney Tunes style just laughs in the face of that so-called art. In fact, the cleanly timed movements of that style almost plays into and becomes the strength of the cartoon style. And so if I had to explain the Looney Tunes style, it would be this. The Looney Tunes style is where you have to always move forward. You have to move forward with power and with pressure. And alongside this power and pressure, you need to have the sloppiest of technique, the sloppiest of hands. The sloppier, the better. I'm talking 3 sessions deep, sloppy. I'm talking current Tai Tuivasa, sloppy. Come on, Tai. Get back into it. But here's the thing about this style, you guys. How could your opponent ever know what you are doing if you yourself doesn't know what you're doing? How can you predict me with your Sharingan when there is nothing to predict? Because this style is not about thinking. It's not about clean striking. It's about making things happen. This style is about turning a clean contest into one of the most uncomfortable, unpredictable, sloppiest things that you could watch. And yes, it might look utterly disgusting at times, but it's in this disgust where we see opportunity arise. And this leads me to my next point. Why does this work so well, and how does it work? Now, one huge reason as to why this style works so well is because of its unpredictability. Think about when you're sparring and you spar with a new class member. One minute you're getting this panicked overhand right to the face, the next minute you're getting a lead uppercut to the dick. It's in this unpredictability where people find success. Now imagine this at the highest level. How can you possibly train for this in a training camp? How can you mimic a fighter with top 15 UFC power, but at the same time, they also have the spazziness of a new white belt? That's why this unpredictability works so well. This style of fighting forces you to always fight their style of fighting. And it's a fight that's sloppy. It's a fight that's gritty. It's a fight that's overall exhausting. And if you're used to this clean style of fighting and this certain rhythm that a clean fighter has, you are going to get melted over and over again. Because if you rely on space and timing to catch someone, that's probably going to be gone. There's not going to be any space because they're going to be all over you. So within the time that this fighter is walking forward, when they're pressuring you, you need to somehow finish them before they make it gritty. And that's why this style is so hard to beat. Okay, let's discuss a little bit more about how this style works. I think a major part of this style and why it works is because of how many people overlook it. Opponents may say they respect the fighter they're facing, but I really don't think opponents truly respect this style. Because let's be real, it looks fucking retarded. It looks like it shouldn't work. But time and time again, we see it work. We see it work and we make memes about it, but we never find out why it works. So when breaking the style down in making this video, I realized a few key things. To use this style effectively, you need to be strong for your weight class. You need to be tall and have leverage. You need to be muscular. And honestly, overall, you need to be a thick-ass boy. Once you have then acquired this build, you then need to bulldoze forward. Relentless pressure. You just have to do. No thinking, do. Do shit. Unpredictable. Weird shit. Stub your toe on their toe? Good. Now they won't be moving as well. Fail a takedown? Good. This just means you can roll into full mount somehow. With this style, the sloppier you look, the stronger you will be. It's like the slop and overpower statistic are directly proportional to each other. As the slop goes up, so too does the main character protection. And now you might be saying, well, in this case, can't anyone become a professional MMA fighter? Can't anyone win at the highest level if they just come in sloppy and strong? Well, no, not really. You see, these guys who use this style are still great at MMA. And again, going back to how it looks, if you don't give them the respect that they deserve as high-level mixed martial artists, they will beat your ass. In MMA, skills are important, but strength, grittiness, cardio, power, plot armor, you name it, there's so many attributes you need in MMA. The difference with these fighters is that they don't spend their time making their fighting look pretty. They spend their time making themselves uncomfortable. They spend their time making themselves unbreakable. And that's why they are so successful. Now, who does this style the best? When I think of this style, there's a lot of different fighters, but three main ones come to my mind. Number one, the trash talk king, DDP. Number two, the bow nickel destroyer, Reiner De Ridders. And number three, Scousers don't get knocked out, Paddy Pimblett. And a few things they all have in common is good jiu-jitsu, a solid ass chin, great forward pressure, and most importantly, they all look so goddamn sloppy. Captain Sloppy, he's a hero. You see, Reiner puts you in these uncomfortable positions. Not only is he tall, lanky, and strong, but he's constantly throwing those bone nickel destroying knees. DDP just constantly marauds forward and makes things happen and somehow ends up always in an advantageous position. And Paddy, well, Paddy just gets the main character Dana White privilege. To my point though, he looks sloppy and still wins. Now, how does someone beat this style? So there's a few ways to beat this style. One would be if you had extreme power in your hands, you're a gritty fighter and you like to sit in the pocket and bang, that could potentially work well. Number two would be you have to be extremely good at moving and stinging. This I don't think does well because eventually they'll get their hands on you and eventually they'll make it dirty. And number three would be the wrestling and jiu-jitsu approach. If you are strong enough and athletic enough, you could potentially hold down these fighters and Bilal Muhammad them to a decision. And one of the last things I want to say about this style is I don't think it works in the lower weight classes. I think in the higher weight classes where fighters can hold a little bit more weight for their height and the fighters are a little bit slower and easier to get a hold of, I think that makes this style more effective in the higher weight classes. Now, to sum everything up, this style is only for the strong-chinned chads, people who like to be scrappy, people who like to be uncomfortable, and the only way to beat them is to nullify their forward pressure, either knock them out or hold them down, which is a hard task because these guys have great chins, they love to make it scrappy, and they're never ever gonna give up. Chances are you'll either be getting chinned, gassed, bow-nickeled, or hit over the head with an anvil. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am now back making videos full time. So if you're new here, don't forget to slap the shit out like and subscribe button and my anus. And I'll be seeing you later on in the week for a new upload. I hope you enjoyed the fights. And we've got plenty of fights coming in the future. So stay tuned. More content to come. Thank you again for your support. And I'll see you soon. Peace out.